Can I homeschool if I'm not a teacher? Here's the truth. If you think you need a teaching degree to be a homeschool mom, you have been misled. And I say that with so much love. I have a degree, but it's not in education. I studied liberal arts and vocal performance. And if you had told me, the many years ago, back when I was in college, that I would be a homeschooling mom of 3, I probably would have laughed. I did not plan on this, but now I am so passionate about it. And I want you to know you don't have to be an expert to teach your child well. You just need to be curious, present, and willing to grow and learn beside them. Homeschooling is not about delivering perfect lectures. It's about guiding your child's curiosity. Most of the time, I'm actually learning with my kids, not just teaching to them. If anything, not being a certified teacher has helped me stay flexible and intuitive. You don't need to know everything. You just need to be invested. Your presence means more than your credentials. We use open and go curriculums. I don't have to prep for hours or even write lesson plans. I just literally open the book and we dive right in. For subjects that I don't want to teach in the future, like algebra, biology, chemistry, there are online classes, live Zoom instructors, in-person co-ops, video lessons. There's even AI-based tutors. There's so much. There are tools like YouTube, libraries, ChatGPT, and apps that cover literally anything and everything your child wants to learn. You are not alone. You are surrounded by resources, and you just have to say yes to the adventure. Here's what I mean by real life looks like curiosity. A real life example that just happened the other day. So we had a mama duck land in our backyard. It was so adorable. It was a mama duck and like 8 little ducklings, okay? I don't know how they got in our backyard, but they did. My kids spotted them and they just went ballistic. And they were so concerned about the ducks. Instead of coming to me and asking what to do, they didn't even ask me any questions. All of them ran upstairs to where our books are. They got every single book on birds. They grabbed binoculars. They got their birding books. They got journals, everything you could possibly think of. And they're sitting in my bedroom at the window, studying the ducks, looking up all the information. What's their natural habitat? What do they eat? How do you take care of ducks? It was the cutest thing I've ever seen. And so that day I was so proud because they knew how to do it. They knew how to learn. They read their books. That's the power of self-directed learning. And as a homeschool parent, you get to cultivate that spark every single day with your kids. As your kids grow, your role is going to shift from teacher to facilitator, and you supervise. You supervise, support, and cheer them on. Whether it's reading or robotics or science, you don't have to be an expert. You just need to help them find what lights them up and give them the tools and resources to pursue it. The goal is not to create mini test takers, right? It's to raise confident, lifelong learners. This is something that I love to say. If they can read, if they can ask bold questions, and they believe in their heart that they are capable of learning anything, they will 100% thrive in this world. They'll be unstoppable, right? And that's what I teach my children. You can learn anything, you can ask any question, you can work hard, stay committed, you literally can do anything you want. The sky is the limit for you. I believe that with my whole heart, and honestly, I believe my children do as well. One of, I would say, the greatest gifts that we have had as a family when it comes to homeschooling and when it comes to me being the homeschool mom is that I know my children best. I know how they learn. I pay attention to what is stressful, what is really difficult for them, and what they find enjoyable and easy. So I am able to teach them in the ways that they are able to learn the best. Some of my kids are auditory learners. Some of them are super visual. I remember when I first started homeschooling, I was very, used to like a traditional school setting where you sit down, be quiet, don't move around in your desk, pay attention and do your work and listen. I can tell you that some of my children are not wired like that. And when I first started homeschooling, he would just be moving and moving and moving. And I was so frustrated. I'm like, what is going on? Like, here I am teaching and he's like, it was something science. So let's just say we were talking about frogs because at some point we were. And he was like being a frog all around the class. And I'm just thinking like, what is going on? I'm starting to get frustrated. Everything was like crumbling. Like I'm thinking like, this is not how it's supposed to be in school. This is not how it's supposed to go. And I was worried. So one day I had him sit down and I was like, you need to sit still. You need to listen to what I'm saying, trying to get him to fit into this like traditional model of school because that's what I was doing at the time. Well, this boy didn't hear a word I said and he was looking right at me. And so I was like, that's weird. So then the next day I just let him be free, right? To act out whatever he was doing, move around, build things with his hands, draw while I was talking, even though it was driving me insane because in my mind, he's not paying attention. The next day I asked him in those moments where he's all acting things out and stuff, I asked him, okay, what did mommy say? That boy recited every single thing to me. And that's when I realized that some people learned hands-on. They learn and listen when they're doing something. So I found out very quickly, okay, when we're doing something where I need him to listen, he needs to be drawing, he can fidget with something, he can be building with blocks. There's so many opportunities, even him bouncing around back and forth, like that is helping him to focus and listen to what I'm saying. And that's how he learns best. Could he do that in a traditional classroom? No, but I am able to give him that gift of not shaming him or making him feel embarrassed, but encouraging him that his brain is so cool. He's built so awesome that he can learn in this way and create in this way. And he takes what I'm saying and he like learns it with his whole body. And it's literally incredible. That is one of the best things. Another example, which I think is really important to talk about because everybody learns at different times. I remember when my daughter was first reading and she had a little bit of a hard time at first. She's so sweet and she's so kind and she was really frustrated with herself. If we would have been in traditional school, she would have been pushed and pushed and pushed and had tutors, maybe embarrassed even for not being able to keep up with some of her classmates at the time. Well, I just had this deep feeling, which I'm allowed to have as a homeschool mom. And I said, you know what? Let's take a pause. And we put a hard pause on all reading and we went into audiobooks. And I just remember being like, okay, I felt like this deep need. I felt like this deep intuition, like, let's stop doing this. Let's make reading fun. Let's make stories fun again. And so we would listen to audiobooks. I would make tea. We would all sit on the couch and listen to an audiobook. We went through several series and it was so much fun. And she fell in love with listening to stories. After a couple of months, we went back and started reading and it's like something just clicked and everything fell into place. And I was so thankful that I listened, not just that I listened to my intuition, but that I had the opportunity to press pause, that I had the opportunity to recognize that she needed a little extra time and that was fine. Taking that pressure off, taking that little second to pause, it was huge for her. And it wasn't a couple months, actually. I think it was like 6 weeks. But the point is that when she came back, she was confident, she was ready, and she started going, and it just clicked. And now she is just the most avid reader. She writes beautifully. I mean, I'm telling you, this girl's gonna be a writer. Sometimes when she's writing short stories, my husband and I are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that she wrote this. It's incredible. And she's so young. And so I'm so deeply thankful that I have the opportunity to do this and to cultivate the right experiences, the right educational experiences for my kids because it's so important. And if she was in a situation in traditional school, I think she would have potentially had a hard time with comparison, feeling bad, feeling shame, feeling embarrassed, and maybe she would have hated learning because I think that actually happens to a lot of kids. But because we were here in this environment, she has flourished. So I hope that encourages you and just gets you excited and lit up and confident in the fact that you know your children best. And when you're observing them in a different way because they're not just a student. Not that teachers view their kids as just students, but they're your children and you deeply desire what's best for them and you want to do the best things for them. You want to see them succeed in a way that is so deep because you're their mom. And so it's just such an exciting opportunity to be able to help them flourish in that way. You are more qualified than you think. You don't need a teaching degree. You need heart, presence, and a willingness to learn alongside them. This is about creating a lifestyle of learning, right? This is not checking off a bunch of boxes. You are not failing your kids by not knowing everything. You are showing them what it looks like to be brave, curious, and committed. And it's honestly beautiful. Still wondering if you're qualified to homeschool? Drop your biggest worry in the comments and I will help you talk through it. And make sure to subscribe if you want to have more encouragement, real life moments, and also be a part of the rest of this homeschool series. I'll see you soon.